You are listening to Aim Higher, a Catholic podcast designed to instruct and to encourage the daily practice of our faith. Pax et bonum, peace and good to you all. This is Aim Higher Podcast. I'm Father Anthony. With me is Sister Catherine. And today we are going to be discussing Our Lady of Mount Carmel and the scapulars. I say scapulars, I say plural, not just the Brown Scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, but scapulars in general. For those of you who may be thinking that's the only scapular, some of you may think that because that is what a lot of people, that's usually the one that we're exposed to. It's like saying to somebody, which rosary do you say? Like, well, I say the rosary. No, there's more than one. So it's that same, I was going to say concept, but that's the same type of thing. Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
Well, it's just kind of when you brought up the different kinds of rosaries, like, okay, well, there's the Dominican and the Franciscan.
The Servite rosary.
That's okay. I knew there. Okay. I mean, I didn't doubt you, but my brain was just like, well, what other ones are there? And, other people might have had the same thought.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so talk about the feast itself. Did you have something already written on that about
Well,
that
I, I
feast?
I mean, I took some information from various spots, the outline
Mhm.
of the feast from my Catholic faith, the history taken from St. Andrew's Missal. So, um, and they're not
Kinda
very
put it
long if
all
you want me.
together.
Yes. I believe I shared the file with you. There's document tabs that I learned about from, I saw Bridget use them and I was like, oh, that's how that works. So I found it to be handy.
Wait, what works in what way?
So I sent you a Word document of all my stuff, and there's
Okay.
document tabs on it. So it's one document, but there's different tabs available for all the different things that I
Sister,
typed
when
out.
did you send this to me?
What day is
When
it?
did you send this to me?
Um, let's see. A week, at least a week ago.
A week ago, at least a week ago.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Oh, it's right there, staring me in the face. It's so simple.
so simple, so simple. But
And it says
so
it's
now,
got
so now,
tabs on it.
yes, you should be able. I should be able to see you in there now. So
Oh,
on,
yeah, it
on.
takes you to each one. Oh,
Yep. Isn't that nice? Nice feature. So once I saw someone else use it, I was like, oh, that's how it's done. So another point for
fantastic.
Bridget. She gets another star in her book for being helpful. So,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which I know she
She's got a
depends
lot
on
to make.
it.
Mhm. Well, we only show her that book once a year, just to motivate her. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, I see it. A beautiful
Okay.
document here. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
I'm not usually very organized, but this made it possible. So,
okay. All right. So, who wants to tackle this? Who's going to tackle it? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be you?
rock, paper, scissors. No, we tried
Sure.
that one time. That's no,
Oh, yeah, the timing is off. The
there's a
timing is
delay.
off.
So, um,
Yeah, that's going to be an issue.
I
Well,
mean, it'd probably be funny to watch, but it would get old
I was trying to
fast,
figure
so
that out. There. I don't know. Um, yeah, if I
is
had a
this a
quarter or something, I'd flip a coin.
yeah, I don't have any change up here with me. I mean, is this gonna be a beauty before age sort of thing or age before beauty?
Well, that's not fair because, I would definitely have to win both of them.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at age, or it's like younger, older, A versus B,
Oh, there's
who's
beauty.
A,
There we go.
B.
What's this? No, that's not.
Should
That's
we go
gonna work. Okay.
alphabetical? Father, sister,
All right. Then it's decided. You'll go
beauty
first.
before age. Oh, so age before beauty.
Yeah, we'll do it that way. We'll do it that way.
All right.
I
So
like this box.
congratulations.
Well, it's one of those from our brother.
Well, I mean, and yes, a good box.
I mean, a
I hear
good
you.
wooden carved box. Oh, it's like if you want Father Anthony, something that impresses him. I love wood carvings. I love wood carvings. But anyway, this is not the podcast on wood carvings. That's next
No.
week. All right.
Okay. You'll be in charge of making the document with all the tabs.
Yeah, I'll make a document why I like wood carvings over plaster or marble. Okay. History of the feast. All right, sister.
All right. Well, I'll take the part from my Catholic faith. So, Feast of Our Lady of Mar. Ugh, let's try that again. Our Lady of Mount Carmel. In the year 1250, the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to Saint Simon Stock, the general of the Carmelite order. She gave him a scapular, promising that everyone who wore it and lived piously should escape damnation, should have her protection from all dangers, and should quickly be released from purgatory. The
Hmm.
original scapular was designed to hang over the head, in front and behind, as many religious still wear it, forming part of their habit. And again, that was taken from my Catholic faith.
My Catholic faith. A classic.
Yep,
Classic.
my favorite
Y-
catechism, that is.
You know, when you read just a little short history of this feast and its importance, and the thing that stands out for me, and I won't be surprised if it doesn't. I would not be surprised if it doesn't stand out for you. I'm sorry that it does stand out for you. Yes, that's how I want to say it. Um, my word. It's those who live piously. You wear it and you live piously. I'm sure this is going to be something that we're going to get. We'll probably discuss a little bit more as the episode goes on. But there's this misconception when it comes to scapulars, to many sacramentals, that people seem to think of them more like luck charms or talismans. And figuring if I have this such and such will not happen to me as long as I'm wearing my lucky rabbit's foot or I'm wearing this whatever have you. Um, Not that you have to change anything in yourself, but that this thing outside of you is going to affect what happens, and that is not true. Just because you're wearing a scapular, and if you were to die with it, does not mean uh, you would automatically not be going to hell. It doesn't work like that. You have to live a life that is in conformity with Christ, a life that lives up to the ideals, particularly presented there in Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So, there's a point there. Are you still with me,
Yeah.
sister? I see you kind of broke up a little bit there.
Oh, well, it's weird because I feel like I, I think my computer is moving and then as an extension, I just feel like I'm bouncing a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the fan that I have on. I don't know how distracted it is to anybody. Um,
Well, it's distracting now that you mentioned it.
sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
so
fine. No, it's
sorry.
fine. I
It'll be
don't
okay.
notice.
It'll be okay.
I don't notice. I didn't
It
notice it.
okay. It'll be okay. We'll just deal with it. I mean, if it's too bad, I'll just make this an audio recording, and I'll just make sure I don't make any too many sudden movements.
I'm
But
not
you are
hearing.
correct. The whole live piously stood out to me because that is something that comes up a lot.
Mhm.
Like the misinterpretation, and I never realized that there were people that actually believed that as long as I wear this, I'm not going to hell. And a
Mhm.
friend of mine had shared that her husband, when he was, well, I guess before they were married, but he was wearing a scapular, and he had said that to her, and she was just kind of like, um, you know, that doesn't sound very
Oh,
good, like, really? So you're telling me you could do whatever you want, and this is gonna save you? And I don't know if it was, like, that far, like, how he was thinking,
yeah,
but
probably
I'm
not,
not gonna
but
blame, you know, and who knows who told him what. But,
but
you see different things out there, and people want to interpret it to work
mhm,
with their own situation, like what
yeah,
will work out for them. And
yeah.
years ago, I think I was must have been for the cherub. I was putting something together about the scapular, and the bishop was proofreading what I wrote, and he brought up what he I guess he saw as a child, this video, this like a cartoon, and it showed, these men at sea and danger was happening, and, I guess one of the shipmates was a Catholic and had a scapular, and I'm totally going by very weak memory here, but this is I think the gist of it was that, uh, he he was telling his, shipmates that, "If you put on the scapular, you'll be saved, you won't go to hell." Um, Something like it, but it just gave. I'm not saying that their message was intended to go that route, but a lot of people's takeaway was of that mindset. Um, and the bishop brings it up quite a bit, um, regarding that. Of course, whenever he enrolls people into the Brown Scapular, you have to live your life as a Catholic. Um, if you're going to choose sin, you're choosing hell, and the scapular is not going to keep you from it. So.
Well, and you bring up that point, from that story. Um, it's kind of understanding the circumstances because it is possible that giving certain men a brown scapular, um, in that situation could be a means of conversion, an actual grace, if you will, um, but not, to get them out of that situation at sea, but not, you know, their entire life. So I mean, it could have applied there, but you're right. I mean, you would see that I think that's what most people would take. That okay, I wear this, then I'm fine. But unfortunately, it goes against the uh the ultimate logical conclusion, which when we look at it, we say, well, all right, if somebody were to wear this thing and say that as long as I wear it and not go to hell, then that would automatically mean that I can presume that I'll be going to heaven. So this is false presumption. And one can say, then I don't have to do anything. And that's the risk that you have. And you have to make sure people understand not just the value of wearing a scapular, what it means to be like enrolled into the confraternity related to Mount Carmel, but be trained in the ideals that are being promoted. And this one's quite easy because these are basic Christian ideals that we all read about and learn about in our catechism. It is basically taking the life of Christ, his Sermon on the Mount, his miracles, his preaching, and applying all of that into our life is what we're called to do. Here, we have opportunity of receiving extra graces, indulgences as well. Um, we still got to put forth the work and the effort. All righty, sister, we go down to the history of the feast from St. Andrew.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's quite a bit more here. Okay. On July 16th, 1251, Mary appeared to this fervent servant and placed in his hands the habit which was to be their distinctive sign. Innocent IV blessed this habit and attached to it many privileges, not only for the members of the order, but also for those who entered the confraternity of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. By wearing the scapular, which is in smaller form than that of the Carmelite fathers, they participate in all their merits and may hope to obtain through the Virgin a prompt delivery from purgatory if they have faithfully observed abstinence, chastity, according to their state, and said the prayers prescribed by John the 22nd in the Sabbatine Bull, published on March 3rd, 1322. The feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel at first was only celebrated in the churches of the order. It was then extended to all Christendom by Benedict XII in 1726. The prayers, the prayers that are said along with it, I'll be honest, I do not recall what those prayers were.
Oh, don't you worry, Father. Um, what I have here under the Brown
Mhm.
Scapular, the Brown Scapular is a badge of the Confraternity of Carmel.
Mhm.
The members are supposed to say the office, but for lay people, this may be changed to 3 Hail Marys, which may be a part of their daily prayers. So,
3 Hail Marys.
so simple.
3 Hail Marys. Just 3. It's all you need. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Yeah, okay. And it's, you have a, let me see here. Yeah, I mean, they have a bit here in the book, The Visible Church, and it explains a bit more about the Brown Scapular. If you would like me to touch on that before we move on to any others and talk about
Certainly.
them in general. Okay, because it's, ah, the scapular of Mount Carmel, or the Brown Scapular, is the badge of those who are members of the Confraternity of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. We've established this. It owes it owes its origin to Saint Simon Stock, an English Carmelite who is said to have been favored with a vision in which the Blessed Virgin made certain promises to him, which are known as the first scapular privilege. Namely, that all those who constantly wear the scapular in a spirit of faith will enjoy the protection of the Mother of God, and that if they die clothed with it, they will they will be persevered they will be preserved, from eternal punishment. The second privilege of the scapular is what is known as the Sabbatine indulgence, meaning the indulgences of Saturday. It is claimed that any wearer who shall have complied regularly with certain conditions will be released from purgatory on the first Saturday after his death. These conditions are to have worn the scapular, 2, to have observed chastity according to his state in life, 3, to have recited the office of the Blessed Virgin or observed the fasts of the Church, practicing abstinence on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There is considerable doubt about this privilege. We may believe it, but we're not obliged to do so. Originally, the investing in the scapular was restricted to the Carmelite order, but now any priest having ordinary faculties in a diocese can invest in it. The investing formula now in use was prescribed by Pope Leo XIII in 1888. And well, it goes into the benefits of the brown scapular. So I'll just go right into that real quick. Well, there's not really much else is added to what we've already read. Um, this kind of is breaking down the privileges a little bit more exactly. But I just note the fact that a person has to live a life according to their state in life. They have to live a virtuous life. They have to strive for virtue. The scapular is a reminder of this promise is we made to God. Now, the benefits of the brown scapular, that is, the spiritual favors granted to its wearers, are as follows. One, they are sharers in all the good works of the Carmelite order. Two, after death, they share in all prayers of the Carmelites and in the weekly mass offered by each priest of that order for deceased wearers of the scapular. Three, a plenary indulgence is gained on the day of investing, another at the hour of death, and all masses said for deceased wearers of the scapular have the indulgence of a privileged altar, that is, a plenary indulgence is gained by by uh by the by the persons for whom the mass is offered. There are also many partial indulgences. So there's the benefits, but so it's so intimately connected with the Carmelite order itself.
Well, I never really thought about how a good idea it would be to know when you were invested in the brown scapular. And
Mhm.
generally, it's done, the same day you make your first communion. That's been our
Yeah, that
custom. So,
has
and I
been a
don't
yeah.
so I know that's the case for me, so that's easy for me to remember. But, and I know that doesn't always happen. I believe records are
Mhm.
kept of such things. So something to think about for sure.
An interesting point of interest.
An interesting point of interest. You heard it
It is.
here.
Well, certainly. Uh, yeah, it goes in. I mean, it is the most well known of the scapulars,
Mhm,
and that's what we think about.
mhm.
Uh, I guess we want to pop over, go back to our tabs here.
Well, it's as we were, preparing for this topic, I knew of the green scapular,
Uh huh.
which I find to be, something that I think kinda gets I mean, well, I suppose we could talk about it when we get to it, but and then there's
Mhm.
also the blue and the red, and I might be
Mhm.
missing some, but it's just like I never realized all these things, so
Well, there's so much of it also, so much of it also is depends upon custom in the region that you grew up in, the country that you grew up in. Uh, which ones become more prominent, which practices, and in the United States, it's Our Lady of Mount Carmel is the predominant one,
Mhm.
brown. Um, yes, 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 yes. I'm interesting. Okay, I'm just looking at this book again and trying to see what if they have anything else for us, and they got quite a bit. Uh,
Okay.
then I go into the blue scapular. Am I correct?
Yes. That was actually mentioned in my Catholic faith, so,
Oh, okay. Did did you want to tackle this, sister?
wait, let me just check some
Hmm.
fancy words here. I mean, I could try to pronounce her last name, so nothing ventured, nothing gained. Say it with confidence. Will people know the difference? All
Well,
right.
now, will now.
Well, that's okay. I can live with that. Uh, all right. The blue scapular is a devotion in honor of Our Lady's Immaculate Conception. It requires the wearers to live a life of chastity according to their state and to pray for the conversion of sinners. Ursula Benincasa who lived from 1547 to 1618, was consecrated by her parents to the Virgin Mary's Immaculate Conception. She spent part of her youth and adult life as a hermit in the St. Elmo region of Naples. In 1583, she founded the Congregation of Oblates of the Immaculate Conception of the Most Blessed Virgin Mary, as well as the Hermitage of the Contemplative Nuns of the Immaculate Conception.
Busy.
The what was that? She was busy?
He was busy.
Yes. The rules governing both communities were approved by Pope Gregory the, 15th.
It-
On April 7th, 1623. On August 7th, 1793, Pope Pius XI. Hey, I got that. No,
the
that's
sixth.
not 11th. The 6th, I was like, wow, that does not track at all because I know it, reading the story of Pope Pius the 10th, and he lived in the 20th century, or
Yeah.
he definitely reigned during that time. It's like this math isn't math in here. All right, let's try that again. On August 7th, 1793, Pope Pius VI recognized Ursula's heroic virtues and proclaimed her venerable. So yeah, it's my fault. I should have
Yeah.
changed the Roman numerals. I should have converted them for myself. So
Yeah. Well,
I don't care. Being, if I make a mistake, it's okay. It's okay.
it's it sh- when you see this, it shows the devotion that Catholics have for the Mother of God,
Hmm.
and especially directing ourselves to the Immaculate Conception. What some people may be aware of, but might not be fully aware of, is that the United States is dedicated to Our Lady under the title the Immaculate Conception. That's why it's a Washington D.C. It's the basilica, main Catholic basilica. There is the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. I believe I'm right. I think it's Washington D.C. or might be Baltimore. I believe it's
Mm.
Washington D.C. So we understand this devotion. Sheer fact that we celebrate that feast right in the beginning of the Advent season, and taking a certain amount of joy and celebration within our spiritual longing for the coming of the Redeemer. And we're reminded here how important Our Lady is, and
Mhm.
how important it is that she was conceived into this world without original sin, being the perfect vessel for the Messiah, for our Lord. So to have such a devotion, I didn't see what was there any promises, particular promises that were given. I don't think that was stated, but
No, I didn't see anything.
it's it makes sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to have such a devotion. Um, the green scapular, the green one. Oh, so we got few things to say about this one, don't we?
Hmm.
Uh, I,
Maybe,
I,
maybe not.
I'll take this one out. I'll take this one. The green scapular, also known as the Badge of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, is a Catholic devotional article that was approved by Pope Pius IX in 1870. It is worn to seek the intercession of the Virgin Mary in the wearer's life and work, particularly at the moment of death. The devotional scapular is made of green fabric. On the other side, it features an image of the burning heart of Mary, which is pierced by a sword and dripping with blood. Above this image is a uh, crucimisa surrounding the words, Immaculate Heart of Mary. Pray for us now at the hour of our death. The reverse side displays a full standing image of the Blessed Virgin Mary with her radiant Immaculate Heart. Unlike the other scapulars, this one consists of a single rectangle piece of cloth rather than two separate pieces. Okay,
Mm.
well, that stands
Well,
out. Yeah.
uh, Well, congratulations on just getting that Roman numeral conversion. You just seamless.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, when you start getting to the hundreds and thousands, then I get a little confused. So,
Agreed. Of
oh,
course, I
I mean,
can't even make it past 6, but, you know.
oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning, but yeah, the green scapular. Yeah, that was the only other scapular I was remember being introduced to when we were kids
Mhm.
growing up.
Mhm.
The and such a stress was put upon it being worn at the time, a moment of someone's death. Eh, this is where you kind of come into I'm not say dangerous territory, but you have to approach things cautiously. Even as you explain this, we understand the sacramentals are. They are blessings and things blessed by the church. You help us in the attainment of salvation. Small little things, whether we're talking about a blessing of our home, a blessing of our vehicle, whether it is a blessing upon an object, so it has indulgences. Of course, I did say that before, or just a blessing upon a family. Um, the means of actual grace which a person is called to, uh, to take in, to embrace that. But again, how many people look at hey, I have the green scapular. If I wear it, I'm not gonna go to hell. That's the danger that people have with that.
Well, my, first memory of the green scapular is our brother James had one, and he well, he told me anyway that he must have read somewhere that you if you wanna help the conversion of someone, place it under their pillow. So
Yeah,
he placed it under our mother's pillow. And I think because I I feel you gotta be selective when you do that because,
yeah,
this is a blessed object, don't put it under someone who is a very angry heretic,
yeah,
that will mistreat it. I don't know. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm just hesitant, because I feel like the Great Ain Scapular is probably the top one where people blur the lines of sacramental and superstition like it's a
yeah,
rabbit's foot.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I think because when you think what the color green signifies, it signifies hope.
mhm. But in today's world, they think luck, you know?
Oh, good point.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Ah, yeah, it's not
so
the luck of the Irish or anything of that nature. We're talking about hope, and hope has to be fortified with prayer. That's the thing. I think it needs just to be stressed on this. It's good to have a devotion. I mean, certain things what we read about Our Lady of Mount Carmel, we don't have to believe necessarily all the things. Um, the story of it being revealed and such, yes, but when it comes to points in the scapular, we might not be bound by faith to believe, but we know that the church does supply these things for us. But under the understanding that you have to be praying and working out your salvation. I'm just kind of repeating myself, but it's so important
mhm,
that these are tools to help us.
right.
It's also a reminder.
Because when I was thinking about this earlier today, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
Mm,
I don't think I am. It almost seems obvious, like why would I make the point? But you do not have to be enrolled in the scapular to get to heaven.
yes.
So, if you choose not to, or your parents chose and you just never did, that is okay. I mean, you're missing out on aid,
Mhm.
but it's not something you have to take part
But
in.
you may have something else that you do.
Mhm.
You may have some other pious devotion that you take part in. You may have the devotion, the Sacred Heart, the promises of the Sacred Heart, for instance, and you do that. You don't have to load devotion upon devotion.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, there is, the devotion to the miraculous medal. Maybe that's the sacramental that you're going to choose to wear. And I'm not saying you can't wear a scapular and the miraculous medal.
Well, no,
I do wonder though, like, and this was one of my questions. So it was, can a person be enrolled in all the scapulars?
I have seen it, and I don't
Yeah,
see any reason why, anything preventing them from being enrolled in all the scapulars. Uh, yeah, I
yeah,
believe
yeah.
it's all right.
The bishop told me, he said he's seen someone present him with something that had all the scapulars. Like, I guess it was
Yes, I've seen that
so
too.
okay, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else understands what we're talking about, but I guess there's something
Well,
that will
it's basically all of the scapulars are on one line around your neck.
okay, okay. Which I think if you want to be enrolled in all of them, that's how you should do it instead of wearing 4 individual pieces because,
Yeah.
I mean, and I think a lot of people get out they might have been enrolled in the scapular, got out of the habit of wearing it, lost
Mhm,
their scapular,
mhm,
they feel self-conscious about wearing their scapular, and
mhm.
so I will present this: if you've lost your scapular, all you have to do is get another one. You don't
Yep.
need to be re-enrolled. You've already been enrolled, and then you start wearing it. Um, if the scapular is damaged and you need a new one, you do
Mhm,
have to dispose of it properly. And I feel like this is just not common knowledge because I remember years ago when I did my first run at the secular third order. First, that was my only run because I'm not secular third order, but I trimmed my cord because it was too long, and I just disposed of the cuttings. And of course, James, our brother, knowing everything, was like, "Oh, you should have." he 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 corrected me, but I think he was a little too panicked for the situation because I just didn't know better. You make a mistake because you didn't know, that's fine, but now that we're telling you with these sacramentals, you do have to dispose of them properly, and
mhm.
honestly, the easiest is to burn them,
Yes.
um, that is or you can bury them, but I think burning is probably the simplest, so,
Well, depending on what it is, but
okay, I
most things
suppose you would
are.
burn, so don't just throw it away, burn it,
Mhm,
and, then you get a new one,
and
if you need one, we have them. So
I will say, you don't have to go to Father to have him do it. You can do it yourself. I mean, I have people who have asked me, and they just assume that I'm the one who has to do it. It says, "No, you can do it yourself." Other people said, "Hey, Father, I don't have any place to really burn this, safely." And it's like, "Oh, then I'll take care of it for you."
Mhm,
I have an old grill that I use for such an occasion, for such a thing.
mhm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, and it doesn't have to be re-blessed. You don't have to go through the whole ceremony over again. You just replace the scapular.
Correct. Uh, and that's why I just bring that up because I'm sure that, if you're like, "Oh, yeah, of course," but some people just don't know. That's part of this
Mhm.
podcast is to share these little nuggets and details and, um,
How you learn.
which kinda gets into the idea of wearing it faithfully, because I think for a lot of people, they feel a little self-conscious about it, and a simple breakdown that, I think Bridget put together for first communion class. She's pointed out basically you take the only time you're supposed to take it off is when you take a shower or you go swimming. Now I understand that maybe some sports, if you're in sort of sports or whatnot, of course you take it off, but you should be in the practice as soon as possible to put it back on.
Yeah.
And And I do understand, like, when you're younger, you do feel self-conscious about it, and I think part of that self-conscious about it being seen is because we're afraid we're going to be asked about it. And it's really you shouldn't be, but use this as a means to prepare yourself to be able to explain, "Why do you wear this?" Um, and the answer is really simple. It's to remind you, at least is how I look at it, is to remind you of being a faithful Catholic, really simply, um, to strive for those 2 great commandments, to love God above all things and to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Like, you can have that as that reminder. So as it, kind of presses against your skin or maybe gets caught in your hair, instead of finding that to be annoying, look at it, that's a reminder. Maybe it's a nudge from your guardian angel or the Holy Ghost that,
Mhm.
have you thought about God today or this past hour? And you know what I mean? Because we all get caught
Yeah.
up in things.
Yep.
So look at it is that is your reminder to offer up a short prayer, a simple
Uh-huh.
Deo Gratias. Um,
Mhm.
and of course, I understand that certain attire might restrict options. I I could say that, if what you're wearing shows your scapular quite a bit, maybe you should rethink what you're wearing. You know,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
mean, summertime attire, and I know certain situations are appropriate for certain things, but and again, you're not gonna wear it when you go swimming, you shouldn't. It wouldn't be safe to, but we're not talking about that. Um, but it's nice to have this as a tool
Mhm.
to keep us on the right path.
It's an aid.
It's
It's
an
an
aid,
aid.
it's an aid.
It's not the solution to everything.
No, and again, because there's the promises, but you still have to do your part. You still have to keep those commandments. It's like we are not Protestants. The whole was it Martin Luther go on and sin bravely, um, and
Oh,
that's
he said, sin boldly, but believe more boldly still.
okay. Yeah.
By
So
faith
I mean,
alone we are justified, is what they say.
yeah, and that's not Catholic teaching, folks. So,
No, it's not.
um, so to and I think if your mentality is to look at the scapular this way, maybe well, I would say talk to your spiritual advisor about that. Because
Mhm.
I don't want it to be like, well, then maybe I shouldn't wear it because that's making me think wrongly. It's like, well, no, just start thinking correctly.
Oh, it's just that simple. I
Yeah,
mean, it
it
really
is.
is. Ah, and we've got one more scapular on your list here,
Yes.
which is the red scapular. The scapular and its bands must be made of red wool. Unlike most scapulars, this one is adorned with specific images that are essential to its design. One side of the scapular features a crucifix, some of the instruments of the Passion, and the words, Holy Passion of our Lord Jesus Christ, save us. Save us. The other side depicts a small cross above the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Sacred Heart of Mary, along with the words, Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary, protect us. So again, these scapulars, as we already noted, just seem to be a reminder of the various devotions that you can have, whether you're wearing a scapular or not. And it is it can be used as a promise of your fidelity to this devotion. Uh,
Hmm.
so it's and you add that with the indulgences one can gain, it could be very beneficial. Uh, Interestingly enough, though, I came across two other scapulars.
Okay.
Yeah. You have the scapular of the seven dolors. This is black. On the front half, on the front half may be a picture of the Mother of Sorrows. It is the badge of the confraternity established by the Order of the Servites of Mary, who were founded in the 13th century. Uh, Many indulgences are given to his wearers, and these were reaffirmed by Pope Leo XIII in 1888. Then you have, well, again, this is the Passion, just like the Red Scapular, but more specifically, the Seven Sorrows of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Then you have the Scapular of the Most Blessed Trinity. This one I've never heard of before. This is of white woolen cloth, bearing a red and a red and a blue cross. It is the badge of the confraternity of the Most Blessed Trinity. When Pope Innocent II in 1198 was considering the matter of approving the order of the Most Blessed Trinity, the Trinitarians, an angel is said to have appeared to him, clothed in white, and bearing on his breast a cross of red and blue. This became the habit of the order and the scapular of the confraternity. Many indulgences have been granted at various times. These were reapproved by Pope Leo XIII in 1899. In the five scapulars, this is usually undermost, so that the red and the blue crosses may be visible. Okay. And then you have something else connected with the scapular medal.
Oh, that, yep,
Yep.
I saw that.
Yeah. And
Which
you
it
have
okay.
hmm?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll read what they have here and we'll discuss that. By a decree from Pius X in 1910, it is permitted to wear a blessed medal instead of one or more of the smaller scapulars. This is called the scapular medal. It is said to owe its origin to a request of certain missionaries from Africa, stating that the Catholic, what we would know as the Africa people in Africa, uh, people in that continent found the wearing scapulars inconvenient in their journeying through the jungle, and permission to use it was later extended to all Catholics. Rules of the scapular medal: 1. It must have on one side a representation of our Lord and his uh, of our Lord and his Sacred Heart, and on the other an image of the Blessed Virgin Mary. It may be of any kind of hard metal. 2. One metal will take the place of any or all small scapulars in which the person has been invested, but not any of the large scapular. 3. Investing in any scapular cannot be done with the metal. A scapular must be used. 4. When a metal is replaced by a new one, the latter must be blessed. Yeah. 5. The blessing must be done by a priest who has the faculties to bless and invest in the and to invest in the corresponding scapular. 6. If the metal is indeed to replace more than one scapular, a blessing must be given to it for each. The sign of the cross for each blessing is sufficient. 7. A scapular medal may be worn or carried about a person in any manner. A scapular medal may be worn or carried about a person in any manner, so you don't have to wear it necessarily around your neck. I do apologize. Getting a little tired here. I'm have my full habit on. It's getting warm, so that's kind of getting to me now.
Yeah. Um, I can only imagine. That's why I have the fan on because
Mm,
it's closing in on 90 and I'm
I don't
upstairs. So
I don't even know what it is. I don't even.
that is fascinating because I if you're worried like, well, what if I'm allergic to the wool that the scapulars are made? Well, there is an option for you. There was one
Mhm,
time I actually thought I was allergic to wool, which I thought would be really interesting if that were accurate, considering I wear wool every day. But I just happened to have a weird reaction one time. So who knows what that was about.
mhm. That was a polyester cotton blend.
Well, that's our tunics now. Oof.
Yeah. Um, you know, I kind of feel like I'm a broken record here, but the scapulars would not be presented, would not be approved if they were not of spiritual beneficial use for us.
Mhm,
They connect the laity to various religious orders and to various practices in the church that otherwise they may be excluded from because of their vocation.
mhm,
They're able now to take part in it. And it also gives them a focal point for meditation, whether they're meditating upon the Immaculate Heart, the Passion of our Lord, uh, meditating upon the Most Blessed Trinity. It can be a reminder for us if you have all these scapulars, a reminder of each devotion, a reminder of what we owe to God each day, and that we have to now give ourselves to God in prayer, in good works, and to have the rightly formed intentions inspired by these scapulars, inspired by these um, means of actual grace that we have before us, not to take them for granted. Because if a person were to live according to the ideals presented in any one of these scapulars, yes, this person would save their soul because they've conformed themselves with Christ. But just be careful not to fall into the deception, the misunderstanding, the error that all I have to do is wear it. There is nothing that our Lord said is that all you have to do is just believe. He never said that. He said not those who say, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but those who do the will of my Father will enter the kingdom of heaven. If you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, have the courage of the conviction of what I have given you. So if people see us wearing the scapular, it's not something that normally would flaunt, but there are people who see it. They might ask questions. Be prepared to answer it, making sure they understand, as far as you're able to explain, that it is not a luck charm. It is a sacramental. It is a reminder of that commitment that you're making to God. Just as religious's habit is a reminder, just as the wedding ring is a reminder for married people, it is your reminder. Mm,
or even the religious people as I show my ring.
yeah. So, no, it's we can't stress it enough.
Yeah.
And if you feel that you are called, that it inspires you, then go ahead. Take on any one of these devotions, these scapulars, but just live a life that that is again in conformity with Christ, but live a life that properly projects what it means to be a Catholic in today's world. And with that said, sister, Deo gracias.
Deo gratias.